Hey everyone, welcome back to Laugh Napkin. Today we're going to be looking at the top posts of the week from the subreddit r/IDon'tWorkHereLady. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This first story comes from the user DTLove87, and it's titled, "Are you deaf?" So this just happened and I'm actually kind of proud of it. A bit of backstory. I stay with my kids during the day and work nights. My husband and I have opposite shifts so we can save on daycare. Because of this, I don't usually go grocery shopping during the week because it can be difficult getting my kids through the store. My daughter sometimes has meltdowns in big crowds. She doesn't have any sensory issues according to her doctor. We just think she doesn't like the noise or gets tired easy, and that makes her fussy. I remember that I was supposed to get party supplies for work today because one of the ladies there is going on maternity leave and I had volunteered to help set up a party for her. So off to the store we all go and everything goes surprisingly well. I'm getting ready to check out at the self-scanner when it happens. I feel a tap on my shoulder followed by the "excuse me" that we all know and dread. So I turn around. My mistake. Despite the tone used, the lady seemed relatively normal. No Karen haircuts. Until she started talking. Lady: "Excuse me, this won't scan." I turn around and she's definitely talking to me. Now, I would normally help, even if someone's rude, because why not? However, her tone and pitch was harsh enough that my daughter started clinging to my arm. My son, well, he just doesn't care, lol. Lady: "Excuse me? Hello? A little help?" I'm just focused on my daughter, rubbing her back because I feel her start to freak out. How this lady thought I could help is beyond me. I don't work there and was dressed like I literally rolled out of bed. Fortunately, the self-checkout attendant shows up and asks what the problem is. Lady: "This won't scan, and this person," gesturing vaguely in my direction, "is no help." Lady turns back to me while the attendant tries to ring up the item for her. "You are so rude. Are you deaf or something?" At this point, I still hadn't said a word to her, and the idea hit me like a freaking beautiful rainbow wrapped in lightning. I'm not deaf. But me and my kids are learning ASL, American Sign Language. I just started learning it, so I can ask basic questions and can sign the Baby Shark song. Don't ask, my kids love it. Smiling the biggest freaking smile I could imagine, I start signing. It makes no sense. I'm literally saying, "How are you? Do you want food? What is your name?" I know a little sign, Baby Shark song, lol. I swear I never saw someone lose color in their face so fast in my entire life. It was glorious. She got her items, paid, and practically ran out of there. The attendant trying her best not to laugh. I turned to the attendant and said cheerfully, "Have a nice day." She and I shared a good laugh, and I went home. P.S. My daughter is fine. She probably just got scared. Story number 2 comes from the user MissTeacherLady98, and it's titled, "A Grumpy Dad Yells at Me While at Pickup." So this happened about a month ago at this point, but I wasn't sure if it was worth sharing. But what the heck? Here we go. A little background. I work at a childcare center and we have shirts that we wear at work that have the company name on the shirt. It's very clear and very obvious what the company is. One day, one of the families I babysit for asked if I could pick up their kids and take them home as the mom had a late meeting and would miss the pickup time cutoff. The younger child was at my center, in my class, and after getting the proper permission from the director, we head off to pick up the older sister at her school. The sister went to a pre-kindergarten program that was attached to a very highly prestigious elementary school, and the children enrolled in the pre-K program got first spot in the actual school. So this place was very uppity. I had been there a few times for pickups like this, so the staff knew who I was. On the days that I did have to pick up the sister, she was usually the last one as I got there right before closing. This particular day though, there was another little girl. While the older sister was collecting her things and putting her jacket on, I was holding the younger toddler and chatting with the remaining staff members. And then the other little girl's dad came in. He seemed rushed and annoyed that the little girl wasn't getting her items together like the other one was. "Why isn't my kid ready to go?" he snapped. He was looking at me. I stayed silent. Not the right thing to do for him. "Hello, I'm talking to you." He actually snapped, as in snapped his fingers in my face. "Why is that kid ready and mine isn't? This is favoritism." "Sir, I don't work here," I told him. He did not like that answer. And may I remind everyone that an actual staff member, who I think was kind of shocked as well, was standing right next to me, with her name tag on. and my shirt, which was clearly still visible, showing my center's logo and name, which was very different than the schools we were at. He said, "Oh, don't give me that. I don't care if you're off the clock or whatever. You don't want to admit you have favorites." Finally, the teacher stepped in. Dan, not his name, "She's picking up older sister. She don't work here at all. She can't pick up if she's an employee. That's against the law." He looked disgusted at me. And by the way, it's not against the law whatsoever, even if I did work there. I said, "Then it's a good thing I'm not an employee." I tried to make a joke and lighten the mood. At this point, the older sister was ready to go, and I just wanted to get out of there. So we said goodbye to the teacher and tried to leave. "Where are you going? You can't take kids. You work here," he yelled as I walked down the hall. "No, I don't," I yelled back. He kept yelling at me as I exited the building. I was so flustered and frustrated after that we took a time out in the car, and I sat and played some of the music I had saved on my phone for the kids before we drove home. I know it's not the most exciting story, but I thought someone might get a kick out of it. Story number 3 comes from user Jameson Cinemet2. I probably hacked that name up. And it's titled, "Karen Needs a Rental Car." I own a gift shop in a hotel. This hotel has a car rental agency 2 doors down. This agency closes at 6 p.m. The time is now 7:10. Karen walks to my door. Not through it though. She's standing in the corridor and proceeds to ask, nicely enough, if I knew where a car rental agency is. I told her 2 doors down, but the guys left already and that they close at 6. She huffs and goes over there. I presume to bang in the locked door until someone magically appears. She comes back. I have a customer, a hotel guest who is from out of town in here, learning about our community from me, the now local tour guide. I don't mind him at all. He was fun to talk with and liked my insider knowledge. She demands to know where another car rental place is. She still hasn't walked through my door. She barks at us that her company doesn't use the agency they put her in the hotel with. She doesn't like the other 2 big brand names in town and doesn't know much about number 4. I tell her I don't rent cars. I live here, obviously, because I'm working. The guest I'm talking to tells her that if she can't/won't use the big name rental agencies, then her best bet would be to Google what's around here. I piped in that I don't believe we have any other than the big 4, as we're not an airport city or a tourist destination. She's dumbfounded by this suggestion, saying that her company would never pay for an off-brand rental company. He again suggested she just Google it and contact her company to figure out her particular situation. He even tosses out the bright idea that most hotel guests know how to do, which is just ask the front desk person, or at last resort, ask for the yellow pages. He gets frustrated because he ends up literally explaining how to use her phone and how to search Google. She huffs at him and I, saying that we were useless and no help at all. His last words to her were, "Who the hell doesn't know how to Google? I'm 60 years old, and even I know that I can just talk to the Google to get my info." Story number 4 comes from the user Future Author MK, and it's titled, "Lady, just because I have a giant ring of keys does not mean I can let you into just anywhere." So this is one of my friend's stories, but he doesn't use Reddit. But I do have permission to post, so here we go. My friend, who we will call Robbie for this story, came down with a terrible chest infection, was almost coughing up a lung and all that. He got tested if you're worried about more serious things. His results came back with just a chest infection. From experience, I know these are not fun. You wake up with your nose all stuffed up, and no matter how much you blow your nose, unless you get antibiotics, it's not getting any better usually. So Robbie gets his prescription from the doctor, but it's late, 8 p.m. at night. Most pharmacies in the area are closed, so Robbie decides he'll go tomorrow before his shift at local store in our city. He works the opening shift, so he arrives early to unlock things for others. Naturally, he has a key ring to carry all of his keys on, both the keys to unlock the doors at his shop and the ones in his everyday life. House key, garage key, bike lock key, mailbox key, and 3 separate keys for his work. One for the front door, back door, and storage room. Robbie gets up early the next morning at 7 a.m. The pharmacy opens at 8 a.m. He has breakfast and arrives a half hour early because he likes being early, and sometimes it takes a bit of time to get a prescription filled. He sits in his car because it's cold. Winter in my country is hell. At 7:45 a.m., he gets out and goes to stand by the doors. This is when Karen appears. R is for Robbie, K is for Karen, P is for pharmacy employee. Robbie's keys are hanging off one of the belt loops on his pants, so they are clearly visible for context. Karen: "Can you open the doors?" "What? No, sorry." What do you mean, no? It's cold. Robbie is confused as hell as to why this lady thinks he can open the pharmacy doors. Robbie, it's not open. You have to wait. Why can't you open it? That's why you're here, isn't it? To open the store and work? Robbie now realizes what's going on. Lady, I don't work here. My keys don't work on the locks. You're just being lazy, leaving everything till the last possible second. Procrastinator, lazy ass teen. Robbie is 23. Not a teen, clearly. My keys are not made for these locks. I do not work here, and I'm not going to shove my keys into them just to prove it to you. If you're this stupid, you might need to get your brain checked. He told me he said that, so it may be exaggerated, but along the same lines. Karen, give me the keys. I'll show you how easy it is. Come on. She shakes her hand at him, expecting him to give up the keys. He says, no way, lady. Then open the door and let me in. I told you I can't. I don't work here. Therefore, I can't unlock the door. He's coughing in between all of this and sniffling. I was surprised the lady wasn't scared off by this in the first place, or picking up that maybe he was there to get a prescription early. Pharmacy employee finally shows up on the inside of the pharmacy doors to unlock them. Must have entered from the back. She pushes the door open and greets them. Pharmacy employee. Good morning. I would like him fired. Pharmacy employee looks very confused, of course. Karen. He didn't open the door. He made me stand out here in the cold. Her car was literally 5 meters from the door. If she was so cold, she could have stayed in there. Pharmacy employee. Why would he open the door? That's his job. He doesn't work here, ma'am. I'm opening shift. It's my job to open it by 8 a.m. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm 5 minutes early. Customers shouldn't be left standing in the cold. Our hours are stated on the sign. If I wanted to, I could close and lock the doors and have you wait 5 more minutes. You have a car. It won't kill you to stay in it. She might have been going to say things about fumes and gas and such before he continued. If you're here to fill a prescription, I can help you. If you're here to purchase items and tickets, you'll have to wait for the other employee who has a key to the ticket stash. And what do you know? She wanted to buy lottery tickets. She wasn't dying to buy a prescription or even buy food. She just wanted a lottery ticket she could have gone to a 24/7 gas station to get. She stopped off after about 10 minutes of waiting for the second employee to arrive. Now, the employee was late. I was pretty sure pharmacy employee was texting them because they kept looking at their phone and smirking back at Karen. And as soon as Karen pulled out of the parking lot, guess who pulled in? Ticket counter employee with the key. Robbie got his prescription filled and went off to work. Thanks for reading. And that brings us to the end of today's video, guys. Let me know what you think about today's stories in the comment section below. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.